My help comes from God, the God who is near in danger, fear, and uncertainty. Psalm 121. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. There are moments in life when fear tightens its grip around the heart. Moments when the future feels unclear, when danger seems close, when uncertainty stretches before you like a valley with no visible end. It is in such moments that Psalm 121 speaks with a voice strong enough to steady the trembling soul. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. This is not the optimism of a hopeful traveler. It is not the shallow confidence of someone ignoring real threats. It is the confession of a believer who knows the roads of life are filled with dangers seen and unseen. The hills around Jerusalem were not symbols of comfort. They were places where thieves hid and enemies lurked. The psalmist lifts his eyes not because the hills reassure him, but because the hills remind him of his need. The hills do not hold his help. They awaken his longing for the one who does. And then comes the answer that stands like a fortress in every fearful season. My help cometh from the Lord which made heaven and earth. This is the foundation for the weary heart. Not self-reliance, not human strength, not predictable circumstances, but the God who spoke galaxies into being and bends low to watch over his people. Fear exposes our deepest need. Danger has a way of revealing what we trust. When the road grows dark, we search for a light. When the future shakes, we look for something unshakable. When the world feels threatening, we instinctively reach for a refuge. Psalm 121 begins at the point of human vulnerability. A traveler looks at the hills and feels exposed. The path is long. The threats are real. There is no army beside him, no weapons in his hand, no guarantee of safety. The psalmist does not deny these fears. He does not minimize them. He acknowledges them and lifts his eyes upward. Fear is not the enemy of faith. Fear becomes the doorway through which faith looks for God. The psalmist does not say, I am strong enough for this journey. Nor does he say, the hills will protect me. He says, my help must come from the Lord. Fear becomes the teacher that directs the heart back to the only sure source of safety. The living God is nearer than every threat. The psalmist does not describe a distant deity watching from the edges of the universe. He describes a God who keeps, watches, protects, and guards with unwavering attention. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. This is not a promise of ease. It is a promise of presence. Your foot may tremble, but it will not slip beyond his care. The surface beneath you may be uncertain, but the God who holds you is not. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. We sleep. We grow distracted. We lose focus. We drift. But the God who guards his people never rests, never fades, never falters. He keeps watch when you cannot. He stays awake when you collapse. He stands guard when your strength is gone. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The psalmist wants you to feel this. The Lord's nearness is not intermittent. His attention is not divided. The threats around you are real, but the keeper of your soul is nearer still. Your fear does not cancel God's care. Fear may rise like a tide, but it cannot drown the faithfulness of God. The psalm does not say that believers never fear. It says their fear is met by an unbreakable promise. The Lord is thy keeper. This is not poetic comfort. It is covenant reality. The God who binds himself to his people declares, I am your keeper. I am your protector. I am your shelter. I am your shade. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. To stand in the heat of the Middle Eastern sun was dangerous. Shade was not a luxury. Shade was life. The psalmist says, God himself stands between you and the danger that threatens to consume you. Your fear does not cancel his presence. Your trembling does not weaken his grip. Your uncertainty does not diminish his vigilance. The living God stands guard over your life with tireless commitment. God protects you in ways you do not see. The traveler hears a promise that reaches beyond his understanding. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. These words point to dangers visible and invisible, physical and emotional, external and internal. Heat from the sun, fears of the night, threats that attack from without, burdens that rise from within. God's protection is comprehensive. He guards you in ways you recognize and in ways you never know. He shields you from dangers that never touched you because He moved them out of your path. He steadies you in moments that would have broken you because He held you unseen. Divine protection is not always dramatic. Often it is quiet, unnoticed, hidden in the fabric of ordinary days. The Lord preserves you not only when you feel endangered, but when you do not even realize you are at risk. The living God surrounds you with a care far greater than your awareness. God's presence is with you in every step of the journey. The psalm reaches its great crescendo in the final promise. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth, and even forevermore. There is no moment outside His keeping, no step beyond His reach, no season beyond His sovereignty, no danger beyond His rule. He guards your beginnings and your endings, your departures and your arrivals, your days of strength and your days of weakness, your outward journeys and your inward struggles. This does not mean the absence of hardship. It means the absence of abandonment. The God who keeps you does not guarantee painless paths, but He guarantees His unbroken presence on every path, even forevermore. This is the heart of Psalm 121. The help that comes from the Lord is not temporary. It does not expire when circumstances shift. It does not diminish when fear rises. It does not weaken when trials intensify. The God who guards you now will guard you forever. Lift up your eyes, for your keeper lives. Fear may whisper that you are unprotected. Danger may suggest that you are alone. Uncertainty may convince you that the road ahead is too much for you to bear. But Psalm 121 answers with confidence carved into the eternal character of God. Your help comes from the Lord. Your keeper never sleeps. Your protector stands beside you. Your guardian watches every step. Your God goes with you into every valley. Your life is preserved by the one who made heaven and earth. Lift up your eyes, not to the hills, but to the one who shaped them, not to the dangers around you, but to the God above you and beside you. He is near. He is your keeper. He is your help. He is your protector. And He will not let you go.